Yeah, I'm Simon Akers. I am a founder of Archmon, a marketing consultancy, and I spend my days doing marketing consultancy and strategy for small brands and for agencies. So I talked about the unfair advantage that Davids have versus Goliaths, so smaller brands and smaller agencies. And we talked a lot about the things that are disadvantages as well. So scale, pricing power, etc. So I think where the small businesses and agencies can really win is that real intimate knowledge and insight that they can get from their customers. They can sit and have a coffee with more of their clients. They can, work together to come up with creative solutions. They can probably be a bit more agile in engaging things like freelancers and consultants. So I think that, what the power of the small, of the David versus the Goliath, is definitely that ability to do things with a bit more speed, a bit more ease. And actually, I think with comes that sort of time with the customer, a bit more authentic work. If I had every marketer in a room from all the companies and I had one thing to say to them, it would be, don't let the tail wag the dog, okay? I've said it before, I said today, that the platforms like Meta and Google, they have their own marketing strategy, and it's to get you to spend money on their ads. Now if you think about that, sometimes the tail wags the dog, and the clients and the customers might do something that's not particularly right for them. So always plan first, spend a bit of time doing research and planning, which often is neglected in the line of tactics, to actually have a real point of difference. So I talked about the big businesses, but also with Davids, what can they do on a shoestring budget? How can they take on the Goliaths of industry? And my answers, they vary, but the big thing that the small businesses can do is be creative. Creativity is not in the eye of big companies only. Anyone can be creative. As long as you ground your work in research and planning and decide what to do and what not to do, because you are short on resource and staff, you can, once you know the path you're going down, you can be as creative as you like. Less rounds of sign-off, less dilution, less worry about being big brand reputation. With all the things that your disadvantages, an unfair advantage is definitely thinking about being more creative and tapping into that. I think the challenge is with a lot of SEO focused professionals in marketing is the time that things take and the different elements of consideration, from technical to content to outreach to links. Now with something like Hike, you can definitely save time and energy doing those certain things, and you can get to a better point of truth. So you can focus on doing the really good stuff, which is adding value as the unique agency that you are. And also, I think with things like the planning tools, you can actually just get a lot of insight and plan your marketing strategy beyond SEO. If you really understand what people are searching for, that's the true litmus test. People are talking about what they want. Why would you not use something like this to tap into that and help not only build out your SEO, but build out your wider marketing strategy and communication? I think the importance of these kind of events is getting people into a room from different backgrounds, so brands large and small, agencies large and small. And because I think what happens is, with things like the algorithm and LinkedIn and things like that, we can sometimes all be guilty of getting into a certain echo chamber of hearing one way of doing things. I think with something like today, you're hearing people, whether it's talking about marketing strategy, new business, SEO transformation, people are sort of seeing what other people have done, bringing it to life, making it practical. And there's different views in the room as well, and that's really important, because if you can get a load of people together talking about what they've learned, none of it's incorrect, it's all correct, it's all dependent on what's needed. And I think you lose that sometimes in the sanitized online world. So getting people together, there's a real alchemy of doing that, I think.